This will be a continuation of my other video, The Timeless Child and That Other Guy. So again, if you have a narrow view of Doctor Who canon, this video is not for you, as we dive into the murky end of Doctor Who lore to see just what Chibnall retconned with the Timeless Children. Quite a lot of Rassilon's life was tied up with the great vampires. As we discovered in State of Decay, one of the Time Lord's oldest enemies were the great vampires, and that Rassilon constructed bow ships to destroy these feeders of worlds. Turns out, it was Rassilon's experiments that punched holes in the universe that allowed the great vampires to swarm through. They fed on whole worlds. They lived for millions of years and could heal themselves incredibly fast. We know the great vampires developed the V-factor, which was an infection that brings immortality to those who were infected. We also learn that Gallifrey's ability to regenerate came from a virus as a result of experiments from a biosynthesist named Terminix. Rassilon sponsors and oversees the final product. This would become the immortality virus. Now this is where it gets kind of tricky. There are no accounts of Rassilon gaining his immortality through the virus, while there are accounts of him actually being bitten by a vampire, gaining their abilities, and becoming one in the end. If we cannot deduce Rassilon giving Time Lords long life, excellent healing, and regeneration capability from vampires' genetics or technology with this alone, consider that the Time Lords share 98% of their DNA with vampires. Rassilon wound up having the biosynthesis killed off and injected the final development of the virus into the looms, giving Gallifreyans 13 lives. 10% survived, thus giving us Time Lords we see today throughout most of Doctor Who, at least until the Time War. Again, nothing in Doctor Who lore supports anything in Chibnall's Timeless Children. If anything, there are massive and glaring contradictions, so much so that he single-handedly rewrote a massive chunk of Doctor Who history, if not all of it. I guess we should start calling the next 50 years Doctor Who Phase 2. I'm Jack Taylor.